Welcome to the final episode of Your Time in the Run, the Hunted Series 8 podcast from Reality TV Warriors. My name is Michael Armstrong, and joining me as always are the clowns we have left. My fellow Brit who would like to say bonjour fuckers for the last time this series, Anthony Williams.
Morning.
And the lady who only does things to prove her husband wrong, Michelle Pierce-Donovan.
As Americans would say, ain't that the truth? Yes, good evening.
How are we?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we were just talking about traitors beforehand. Weirdly, when we recorded last week's episode, we probably should have talked about the Celebrity Traitors final, but we didn't. Oh my god.
Yeah, we didn't, did we? Had we all watched it at that point?
Yeah, we all watched it.
I think we all had, yeah.
Yeah, because it was Sunday we recorded, so yeah, we would have done by then.
Yeah, it was so good. What a great series. Isn't it great that to watch a series of people just having fun?
Yeah, and all of the American fans viscerally hate it because nobody had any stakes.
I know, and I was talking to someone about this the other day, and like how different UK Traitors is versus US, that they just take it far too seriously.
Yeah, they really do.
It's a parlour game. It's just supposed to be fun, right?
Well, that's the thing. You could tell that every single person involved wasn't devastated because they got murdered or banished. They were devastated because they wouldn't be able to play anymore.
Exactly.
They were having fun.
Traitors is supposed to be fun and good.
Yeah, and well, there's a particular American Amazing Race fan who is on a campaign to go, I hope this doesn't affect Civilian 4. And it's like, well, Civilian 4 filmed before this anyway. And also, they are two different shows. They were commissioned as two different shows. They're never going to cross the streams. Linda was the only person who got mentioned from Civilian Traitors in the entire series. And also, lighten up.
Yeah, there's far too much serious stuff. I do find that's a little bit of a typical thing, though, isn't it? Like when we do reality competitions, it's mostly just a bit of fun, right? And then, because it always surprises me, like how often on the US versions they're banging on about the prize money. Like no one in the UK ever cares about the prize money on a show. It's just a fun time.
Well, the great comparison for that is American Mole, especially Netflix Mole, where everyone was moaning that they'd reduced the price from $1 million to $250,000, versus, I don't know, Dutch Mole, which was less than $8,000 this year.
Yeah. I don't know.
On a mole subject as well, Michelle, have you seen this week's episode yet?
No.
Okay.
Give me
cool.
a break. Too much on.
It aired 6 days ago.
No, but it's the last 4 weeks of the final term of the year. It's Christmas. So it's a bit different from England's end of school year because you finish in the end of the year, but we've got along with the end of term concerts and all that stuff, we've also got Christmas and all that paraphernalia that comes along, and it's just insane. These last 4 weeks are insane. Today alone, and I do kindergarten. I had prep. I did a visit with kindergarten. There was a book fair on. We had a silent lockdown because there was a strange man on campus. And then we had to change rooms. We had someone sick, so I didn't have enough staffing in the room to do what we needed to do. It was just bad day.
Sounds like a you problem, all that thing, Michelle.
I don't know. I didn't even know there was a lockdown. I didn't even see this guy being escorted off the premises by 6 men. Like, what the hell was going on there? Anyway.
You'll also be pleased to know this never made it onto the podcast, but it is now going to, that I'm getting a new dishwasher next week.
Woo!
After nearly 4 weeks of not having one.
Oh, mate. I'd never had a dishwasher in my life until I bought this house, and one came with the house. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine. And then about 2 years ago, it broke, and I have never ordered anything so fast in my life. Within 24 hours, they were out and replaced it.
Well, mine came with the house and tried to get a repairman, as you guys well know, and he was like, oh, I'm not sure what it was. And no word of a lie, I had to chase him after a week of him taking the dishwasher away, the original one. And he's like, yeah, I'll have a look at it. Going to try and have a look at it today. And then that was a Wednesday. And then on Sunday, I heard back from him being like, yeah, it's these 2 parts that it definitely is for real, honest. And it's going to cost like 130 quid or whatever to repair. And I'm like, I might as well just get a new one.
That's exactly what I thought. So that's what I did. I just paid to get a new one installed.
So I've had to pay the call-out fee, which is £60, annoyingly, and then buy a new dishwasher. But yeah, that's coming on Tuesday, finally.
Hey.
So I'll be waiting in all day just going, please deliver my dishwasher soon. I'm sick of hand-washing things.
It's rubbish. It's for peasants, man.
It really is.
It is.
Anyway, Hunted from like 3 weeks ago at this point. Previously, Andrew and Robin chose to split but ended up on the same train. Sean and Marie had another narrow escape in Birmingham, which led them to also split when their network was compromised in Chester. With nowhere else to go and no money, Sean used his last £5 on his card to buy a train ticket, but HQ got the ping and he was caught in Heald Green. When they split over Birmingham, Andrew got away while Robin led JP through the streets, but a cheeky commandeering of an electric scooter also saw his time on the run end just days before the end of the hunt. Andrew returned towards home, and his choice to send a cheeky tweet backfired as the episode ended as the hunters closed in on the farm he was hiding at. Oh, this entire running through the farm just is delightful.
The running and singing, "You can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man."
So good. I mean, it's the next instalment. We've had Born Identity, now we've got Born Farm.
Yeah. I quite like that they focused last episode on Robin being ultramarathon man, all that sort of stuff. And it's like, yeah, Andrew can't really run. It's like, yeah, grew up playing sports, had to have hip replacements. I can run.
It's just the way it unfolds. It's like, oh, he's going to get caught. He's going to get, what the hell?
But then you remember that they spoiled the quad bike at the end of episode 6.
It's a shame they did that, because this would have been an incredible sequence. It was still brilliant.
Yeah,
so good when the quad bike goes past the hunt. It's like, oh, great.
Well,
I mean, all jokes aside, obviously Andrew is the first of them to get caught here, and he gets caught fairly early in the episode as it happens. But he carried the entertainment in this episode, because there may not be a scene in Hunted that has been funnier than Andrew falling through his own window.
So good. So good.
So Ray says that he can't run, but they can't catch him. He's a gingerbread man. Ed overtakes Paul on the quad bike, and Andrew gets on board and escapes. And he's lurking in the trees and says, yes, sir, he can boogie. And I know you talked a couple of weeks ago, Michelle, about continuity issues with Daisy's hair changing and going straight and curly and all that.
Oh, yes.
And I sort of alluded to this last episode as well. But Shaq's continuity is wild.
I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, is this why they keep showing him going into hair salons and barbers? Is it just some vain attempt to be like, no, honestly, he got his hair done, then he had it done, and then he got his hair done again.
Yeah,
it's all over the place, isn't it?
Because I'm pretty sure when we saw him originally get his hair done in the barbershop a few episodes ago, he didn't get his braids done. I think this is the only time he's got his braids done on the run, but he also didn't get rid of his braids for a little while, and I know braids take absolutely forever for them to do.
Yeah. I don't know, but basically, yeah, I just feel like they've gone, can we just get a few shots of him in a barber's, please?
Yeah. I mean, moving on slightly, I do think it's wild that they knew he was in the area and that there was a chance that he would go to Mariah's salon, and they let him get his hair done for, let's be honest, 3 to 4 hours, because that's about how long it takes, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's wild they didn't even get close to him in that time that we saw.
And how they've put sentry cams on everywhere except there.
Yeah. So Shaq's last confirmed sighting was in Cockermouth, but he's disappeared, and HQ suspect that he will pop back to his network, and he is at a fair in Essex and has braids again. Everywhere he goes, he has to try people's jerk.
Yeah. What I'm hoping, and I haven't listened to the interview that the other people have done yet. I'm hoping he's used that money to set up his own sort of business, and that would be so cool.
I hope so as well, but also, this only finished, 5 months ago? He may not even have the money yet.
Yeah. Of course,
obviously, he had the briefcase of cash, but I don't know what we've never asked what the turnaround time is on the money, but I suspect, having dipped my toe in the TV world, that it was he probably still hasn't had it, because we're recording this, about 3 weeks after?
Yeah, they never pay before it airs, do they? So
no. It's I think the standard's about 56 working days after it finishes airing.
56 to be precise. Like, where do you get that number from?
Because as Ant and I will tell you, I think the code was 56 working days after it airs. Not that we won. The chase, I think, was 56 days after filming because they record 11 months in advance. And 1% Club was about 3 years after it airs because they drag their heels and they're horrible people. All jokes aside, I think I do seem to remember 1% Club was about 3 months after it airs.
Yeah. So hopefully he's due the money, and let's look forward to seeing Shaq's jerk chicken somewhere.
Yeah. Ray says he's confused that Marie's still out there. Her last sighting was in Chester. They've not taken much notice of her, and now she's lost Sean. She should be there for the taking.
Can I talk about Georgina?
You can.
Georgina. So, describing Marie. If she was a spice, she would be flour. Many things wrong with this. First of all, I know you're trying to be clever, Georgina, but flour is not a spice. And you could have tried maybe cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom. You want something boring, obviously, but actually pick the spice before saying that because it just makes you sound silly.
Yeah. She's trying to do a Ray, but she's just not got the ability, has she?
Does it make her sound silly, Michelle, or is there another word?
There is another word. I'm not going to use it.
Spoil sport. So Marie's in Manchester looking for help, and before we even found out where this was, my next note is, looks like a nice bit of Manchester she's walking around. And Sean tells her every day that he loves her, but she won't miss him farting next to her in the tent. And she gets some help from Dawn, whose friend can fetch her to Piccadilly. She hides in Chapel House in Denton, and Marie gets a night in a camper van in a car park. She uses a new associate called Sam's phone to post a message to Sean, letting him know that she's safe, unaware that he is not.
And she gets her tarot read. How cool is that? That caravan was amazing. It would be so dusty and awful, but it was amazing.
As soon as she went in that van, I'm like, Michelle's going to be all over this.
I was like, oh my God, there's so much hanging up. I was like trying to find everything in the van. And I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep for ages because I'd be looking like there'd probably be a random frog statue and there'd be some sort of, strange rock on the side. And I don't know, it would just be so interesting.
I believe the polite term is a treasure trove.
Yes. Treasure trove. That's it.
A treasure trove of bric-a-brac.
Yeah. At HQ, get the ping on the video, and Marie says, "Hunters are munters." And the ping is only 4 minutes after Marie posts the video.
I think we mentioned this last time, but that's got to be her fulfilling the taunt the hunters rule, hasn't it?
Yeah, because Sean and Marie haven't done anything that we've seen, really.
They've been home.
I know sometimes it gets cut, like Rob going to the Liverpool parade and all that. But yeah, we haven't seen Sean and Marie taunt the hunters at all, I don't think.
No.
So it's very brave to do it like 2 days before the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it is 48 hours before extraction and the hunters are wary. The extraction, we find out, not from the previous trailer like we normally do, is at the Eurotunnel, fulfilling the long-promised road extraction, or land extraction, I should say.
An interesting one.
Yeah, years and years ago, I think even going back to Blex being the chief, they said that extractions could be land, air, or sea. And we have always said, why aren't we getting a land one? What would a land one be? Is it a train? And we finally get our land one here.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that it would only leave when the remaining fugitives had boarded the train. But why on earth? Every other extraction has been a time. It's going to leave at this time, and if you're not there, you're not there. But this time, what? If someone's on the train, they have to wait until someone else gets to the train and might get caught in the process.
But I suppose because it's on a schedule, isn't it? So it doesn't matter which train they get. I don't know how often they run, actually. I should have looked at that.
I mean, we know from speaking to previous winners, and Rob told us this, that as soon as you're on the extraction vehicle, you are safe and you have won. They portray it as, yeah, the hunters can still catch you and board the boat and all that sort of stuff, but they can't.
Okay.
The rule is as soon as you are on the extraction vehicle, you have won. However, I think, and I don't know for certain on this, I think that train did not go past that tunnel.
No.
I think they probably had some sort of deal with the Eurotunnel to just, use a QR code. We'll just do a dummy QR code that the hunters can also piggyback on in case they catch up with them. This train's going to just go to our yard on the side and then come back. That's my suspicion on it. So I don't think this was a proper scheduled departure. I think there was probably an off-air time. It's usually 1 o'clock, I think it is. But I don't think that this was a real train. Or it was a real train, but not a real train that was going.
No, because I've not travelled on the Eurotunnel, but I don't think they put one car per whatever you're going to call it. It's not really a carriage, is it? It's like a storage thing. Yeah, that was not a regular thing.
I have not travelled on the Eurotunnel for years and years and years, but I'm pretty sure that train would not have gone further than their service yard. I suspect that was probably their platform they used for the service yard.
Yeah. Good sequence, though.
Oh, really yeah. Good. I mean, it was fantastic as an extraction point. And also, just to spoil the rest of it, I love the fact that the fugitives had to drive themselves.
Yes, brilliant, that.
I think it was such a brilliant wrinkle. Maybe a little bit of bullshit surrounding it, but I just love that they actually had to travel there themselves.
Which also suggests there's an unwritten rule that means you've got to have a driving licence to be unhunted.
Yeah. Or perhaps they... who would anyone not have a driving licence?
Oh,
entirely possible not to. I know loads of people that don't drive.
No, I mean in terms of the people that we saw cast. Because a lot of the people this time lived quite rurally.
I was not surprised, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Shaq hadn't got a licence. He lives in London. You've no need to drive in London.
Mm.
That's what I was going to say, is I think Shaq and Warren were the only ones that I would have been like, do they? Because they live in a city area of London. Mm-hmm. Whereas I think pretty much everyone else lives at least semi-rurally that we saw.
Mm.
Maybe Cameron and Simran as well, because they're Wolverhampton, aren't they, rather than Birmingham?
Yeah, they probably would. But I presume, though, they knew what the extraction point was before they finished recruiting, so they'd just do a quick check and make sure it's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, and also if they were in a pair, then at least only one person has to have a driving license, although that risks one of them getting caught and one not.
Well, yeah, if Warren doesn't have a license and it goes the other way, then he's a bit screwed at the end, isn't he?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they decided the extraction point before the recruitment and then just said, right, you've got to have a driving license for this one.
Yeah, makes sense.
So only when they board the train will they be able to claim their share. However, to collect their extraction information, they have to head to their home addresses. I quite like this.
I quite liked it too. I thought it was a nice little touch. Because we know at the point they get extraction information, the hunters know that. We've had that in every series, but I like the fact that they twigged it this time by the fact that they all started heading home, rather than there being a big, ta-da, they've had their extraction info. I thought it was good.
Yeah. I do wonder if they kept Sean away from his home address for Marie getting it.
Oh, see what I mean? Yeah, they probably sequestered him till it was over, I don't know. But they know what's going on, don't they?
Yeah, because I don't know whether they normally do sequester the people who get caught. Maybe they do for a day or two.
What I didn't like about that is that they knew they had to get it from home right after Marie got hers.
Yeah.
So then if you were further away than what Shaq and Andrew were, you would just get caught straight away.
Well, you'd think so.
Which I thought was a little bit sad for anyone who was second or third out of the three to get to their own home.
I think it goes back to something I said last episode. I think they might have had not a direct tip-off, but I think they might have had some sort of indication that maybe you want to be somewhere near your home area for the extraction info.
You think?
Yeah, all of them were fairly close.
They were all heading in that direction, weren't they, before they got that message? I get your point, Michelle, but normally HQ just get tipped off that they've had their extraction info. So I guess, if anything, they've got a slight advantage this time in they've got to work it out first.
This time, as well, is the first one in years and years and years where they haven't said your direct location has been revealed to the hunters as soon as you access your extraction info. I mean, arguably, it kind of was for Shaq and Marie, but Frampo managed to get around it using his own creativity.
I loved it. That was so good.
So Shaq is back to unbraided hair again. HQ have set up sentry cams at all their addresses, just in case they head towards home. In Croydon, Shaq knows he has to be cautious. There's lots of CCTV. He passes Mariah's shop and wants to see his wife and children while he's there. He's worked in construction since the age of 15, but his passion is food, and he has the best jerk and would invest in a restaurant. And my next 3 words are, yeah, he's winning.
Yeah. He says he's a jerk specialist, but, we all were at his age.
I know we've had like 15 different motivations from Shaq at this point, but as soon as you go, yeah, I'm going to invest the money in a restaurant, I'm going, yeah, he's winning.
Yeah, definitely.
So he reunites with Mariah, and it's all very emotional, which I'm sure Michelle hates. And again, for his confessional, he's got braids. Terrible continuity on this.
Oh, they've just given up by this point.
And whilst he's there, Mariah does his hair for him. Marie pulls up around the corner from her house, and the sentry cam pings, and Ray knows that it's going to be extraction info then, and she reads that she has to head to Southampton and grab a car to drive to the Eurotunnel. And as a result of Marie pinging her cam, Ray realises the others will have to enter their homes to get the information, and the hunters are sent to investigate.
This is where Andrew was just absolute gold. He was like, the hunters are there with him, and they didn't get him. And he was walking through stinging nettles, and I was like, I was feeling for those legs, the hands. I was thinking, oh my God, you're in all sorts of problems here, love. And then I just can't believe they went away and he got out, and how good that he went in a side window. Like, I can't believe he was so clever to do that. That was just amazing.
His getting his extraction info was interesting because he knew the hunters were nearby. So he knew the hunters were going to be watching the house.
Yeah.
So he had to get creative. Whereas I don't think Shaq and Marie necessarily anticipated that the hunters would be nearby.
No. They weren't taking any kind of precaution, were they? They were just like getting out. But it was, I agree with you, Michelle. It was such a great sequence. He's getting stung left, right, and centre.
And
he
thinks
knocks everything flying. He thinks
thrown and it was a bee.
And then when he does climb through the window, I don't know if you noticed, there's like blood coming down his leg, so he's like been ripped to shreds by brambles and stuff. And he knocks everything flying. It's just brilliant. And I don't know how much that climb through the side window was like I'll just do it because why not? I don't know whether he figured out that they might have cameras on the front and rear, whether he did or not. It was just a great move.
I think he was probably wary of going through a proper door because he knew the hunters were right by the house.
Yeah.
Because he'd already seen them and been spooked by them in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, so he's probably more thinking they'll be sat watching rather than there's a camera.
Yeah, the hunters are likely to be watching the front and back door, I would assume. Especially on an isolated property like his.
Yeah.
So Shaq's getaway driver is former Marine Duncan Hardy. For some reason, we get his full name, and then he's never mentioned again. And his camera pings, and Bravo are 15 minutes away, and he's told to go to Colchester to find his car. Andrew's cottage is isolated, so Abby suggests the ground teams block him in, and the drone gets sent up, and Alpha and Echo are in position. He says he's had both hips replaced. He wore his hip out playing a lot of sport when he was 40, but he's still got a bit of pace in him. And he spots a hunter team on the road, and Alpha spot his car too, and they get the go order. The Land Rover goes down his neighbour's access, and he's going to have to climb through a field. And Charlotte gets blocked in by a tractor again. After getting so pissed off by the tractor last time, it happens again. And he heads through the back way and gets stung by nettles, as we said. And he says, "There's no time for dot leaves, you mother." And then Abby spots him on the drone.
Yeah, it's just brilliant. I love it. I reckon it's Frampo's tractor mafia are out there. He's just got all his mates out. Just block every road.
It's a hell of a tactic if you do think about it, because if you've got loads of farmer friends, you just block all the roads if you think the hunters are going to be nearby and
awesome,
find a way to extract yourself from where you need to be anyway.
Yeah, they need the guy from West Pier or wherever it was in the tractor. Yeah. Who are you? Police?
Ring the police. Ring the police if you don't like it. Jordan spots movement and Aaron tries to find a way in and gets eyes on. Frampo then hides in the woodland again and isn't wearing a GoPro, which should have been a tip-off to him that the hunters were that nearby. And then he covers himself with leaves and says it reminds him of Predator. I love Frampo so much. I'm so glad we got 8 episodes of him.
Oh, yeah.
Did he say there No, I think it was when he was going to sleep. He said, "I think I'll have a better night's sleep than Ray." That must be
Yeah.
nightmares.
Ray then decides to rely on the sentry cams and look like they're tactically withdrawing, and Alpha and Echo are sent back to their original positions. As we said, Frampo thinks he hears a drone, but it's actually a bee, and he decides to run in, grab the details, and run out, and is now wearing a GoPro. As we said before, it's a red flag to any fugitive if you're asked to wear your GoPro. Be on your guard. Be ready to run.
Absolutely.
And he climbs through a window to avoid drawing attention to himself, and does that so subtly by smashing lots of glass.
Or maybe. I mean, is this another eagle screech going in there? We've had the car horns. I don't know. I mean, I was expecting the Amazing Race "You've made a bad move" gong to happen
Oh,
at
that.
some point.
Dum.
I actually do think that he probably knocked some stuff off. I'm pretty sure we got an oopsie reaction from him.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to head to Brumley, wherever the bloody hell that is.
It's in Kent, mate.
He avoided the sentry cams, and that was fucking dire. Ray says he wants Shaq, he wants Marie, but he really, really wants Andrew. Lots of southern bias in this series, I have to say. I know we joke about the spread out across the length and breadth of the UK, but actually no higher than Birmingham stuff, but all of them are very southern. The final three.
Yeah, and other monkeys got eliminated, sadly.
They did. The fugitives bed down for the night. Marie says she only has £50, but manages to get her night stay for free. The Bristolian charm works wonders. She wants to do it to prove Sean wrong, because he won't think that she can do it.
I was getting good vibes at this stage, were you?
Yeah, I didn't know what to think. I obviously still thought that Frampo was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty convinced Shaq was going to win. I wasn't sure about Marie, just because we hadn't seen her.
Yeah, we didn't have quite enough backstory, really, did we?
There was a point towards the Eurotunnel where I thought maybe Ray's going to get his clean sweep.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because it was getting close. I wasn't sure that Shaq was going to make it when Marie got caught.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You never know with timelines, do you? But there's a part of me that thinks, did Shaq get away because Marie got caught? But I don't know.
Yeah. Shaq has a debit card, which won't ping the computers, because who would want to hack the Red Lion's computer?
But also, why are you paying
about?
with a debit card? You've got 10 grand in cash.
Yeah.
Exactly. What
are you doing?
Exactly. You know what, Ant? How funny. I just got this visual when we both said, "What are you doing? What are you thinking?" Right? And all of a sudden I had a visual of you and me on a couch, like a couple of parents, and saying to our young child, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
This doesn't bring any memories back for me. This receptionist was a character.
He was ace, wasn't he?
Who's going to want to hack the Red Lion's computer? Russians? Ghosts? Shaq just decides to pay cash.
I think that's just easier. I think we'll do that.
Yeah, I think we'll just pay cash. Shaq says he can outrun the hunters. He's only here to win, not for a holiday or to look good, which is a confessional we've seen about 3 or 4 times at this point. And Frampo has a tent again and tries to find somewhere to sleep. He finds someone with an available garden and says, as Michelle said, that he's going to have a better night's sleep than Ray is.
Now, I have issues with this person, right? If someone says, "Can I sleep in your garden?" you don't say yes and then put out some stupid little foam mats. You say, "Come in the house, have some food. Here's my couch. Here's a spare bed. Or at the very least, here's a tent. He's lying outside in a sleeping bag on kids' foam mats. It's ludicrous. I can't believe he did that and then allowed himself to be on camera. He should be ashamed of himself.
More than anyone else in this series, he should be ashamed of himself.
He's the worst person in this country.
So it's extraction day and the fugitives have until 1 p.m. So I did note it down, it was 1 p.m. to find their cars and drive themselves towards the Eurotunnel in Folkestone, where a briefcase of cash is waiting.
Right. They had to pay for their parking.
This is what I have a problem with, Michelle.
I am so angry. This is where the anger began.
This is clever. This is the subtle way of ping as there's your location after extraction. It's good.
They already knew where they were.
I don't necessarily have a problem with them having to pay for the parking, although it is a little bit annoying.
No, paying's fine. It's them being pinged. Like, for God's sake, why? Like, they're so close to extraction, and it was too close for comfort. Like, fine, the day before, but the day of extraction, just not on. I found it really wrong.
I don't have a problem with them having to pay for the parking. I don't necessarily have a problem with HQ getting a ping for them paying for the parking. What I have a problem with is them having to pay for parking and being the only car on the floor.
Yeah. that is odd, isn't it?
Especially Frampo, who is in a massive multi-story car park, and his car is the only one on that floor where he's paying.
Yeah.
That is where I have a problem, because that is just blatantly, yeah, here's his number plate, have fun.
Yeah. But as we've said, it's no worse than what normally happens is, here's your extraction location. By the way, the hunters know exactly where you are now. It's the same thing. They've just made it more interesting, that's all. And also clever, because, I don't know if it was true of all of them, but Shaq was in an NCP car park where you can't pay cash as well. So he had to use his card.
I think Maurice was an NCP as well.
I think they probably all were, but it was a card only, which I thought, oh, that's clever, because you can't loophole that.
But then also with car extraction, you've got telematics. So you've got exactly where the ping is, and you've got telematics. Like, it's too far weighted on the hunter's side. Way too far.
What I would have done in their position, and obviously, as I've said many times, would never do this show, would never want to do this show, because I'd be miserable for 21 days. Or, 10 hours, by which point they'd have caught me, because they would put everything towards catching me, because I'm me. I would have tried to pay for my parking on a different floor. Because at least it makes it a bit more difficult.
Yeah, they're not thinking straight at that point. Oh, they've got 3 hours to get to Folkestone. They're just like, just get out of here.
Yeah. And as fun as the Eurotunnel is as an extraction point, Folkestone is a very one-way town. I know Folkestone very well, as we mentioned last series. Folkestone is one road in, one road out.
Yep.
If the hunters identify Folkestone, the fugitives are screwed. And also, it's at one of the very extreme ends of the country. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it could be anywhere other than Folkestone.
No, and as they rightly spot, once Shaq's gone past the point where it could be Dover, then it has to be Folkestone.
Yeah, just by the way that the roads are set up, it kind of had to be Folkestone. And there's only one thing in Folkestone that could actually be a genuine extraction point, unless they're going for an air one or a sea one.
Yeah, could have been a ferry.
You can sort of assume when they drive themselves somewhere that it's going to be land-based. There's only one land-based extraction point anywhere near Folkestone, really. So it's extraction day, as I said, and HQ are looking at aircraft, boats. It could even be a car. Frampo wakes up and he says he's going to be really switched on and make clear, concise decisions. Marie's feeling nervous. To get the best from her, she needs to be out of her comfort zone. And Shaq says he's not going to entertain if the hunters were to catch him, because they won't.
Yay.
And they are scattered across the south of the UK. To escape, they need to collect their cars. They all find their cars in another envelope, telling them to head to the Eurotunnel, and they've got a QR code and have to pay for their parking, and HQ will get their banking and CCTV pings.
Great.
Interestingly as well, the QR codes are for up to 10 people.
What do you mean?
That's the way the Eurotunnel works, because the Eurotunnel's weird. You can't really go on as a foot passenger, I don't think, on the Eurotunnel.
No, you can't.
It's car only, but you just pay for the car and up to 10 passengers.
God, you'd have to fit a few in the boot.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time you wouldn't be travelling with 10 passengers in or 10 people in a normal car. But if you're in a minibus or whatever, it covers it. But each QR code is for up to 10 people, which I'm assuming is how the hunters were allowed to just go onto the concourse, because presumably they piggybacked on Marie's one after they caught her.
Yeah.
So they've got 3 hours and 3 different locations, and 3 different ground teams are sent to catch them. Frampo's been in their crosshairs, so he's expecting Ray to put everything towards catching him. He pings a camera on Bromley Road, and Bravo are told to hold, as Frampo might be about to pass them. He says he suspects the car has telematics and wants to find out if he can turn it off, and Bravo spot him and pull in a few cars behind him.
Why the hell didn't he take out the telematics in the car park?
So, mainly because it's impossible. So
no, I actually Googled this, Ant.
So did I. If you try and disable telematics, then everything is going to stop working. Your airbags won't deploy. the instruments won't work, your parking sensors won't work, your immobilizer will go off, your central locking will go. You just get a Christmas tree, basically, of lights, and it probably ain't going anywhere.
But if you could still drive the car and it would still go
I
forward.
don't think you would. I think it would put you into limp mode because there's like essential safety features that would get disabled. So I think it would do like second gear, 15 miles an hour. That'd be the best you could possibly get.
Yeah, well, there are cars where it's impossible to turn it off, but there are some where it is possible. However, I think the hunters, or no, the channel would have given them cars where it's impossible to turn them off.
Of course. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think also, given that it will have been a hire car, I think it was probably part of the hire car agreement not to turn it off.
Yeah, quite likely.
Would you listen to that, though? You don't have the agreement in your hand. You have no
It's
idea
a
what's
bad
going on.
idea. Instead of wasting time trying to do that, just get away, Frampo. That would have been a better move.
You know what I would have done? I would have suddenly not crashed the car, but made it impossible for me to use the car, so I would have to take another form of transport.
Ooh, nice.
I'm not sure you would have been allowed.
How can you not? How can they know that if you've, I don't know, inadvertently knocked off a rear vision mirror on the side? It's undrivable now. And you've done that by accident exiting the car park. You know? How do you
Should have
not?
just stopped a passing stranger riding a lime scooter and taken that to Folkestone instead.
Exactly. You could have run over one of the helmets on the floor. You know? Very easy. I would have found it. I'm not going to use words, but I would have found a way.
You would have found a loophole.
I would have, yeah.
You'd have had a better loophole than trying to take out the quote-unquote telematics fuse.
Yeah, well, I'd probably open up the bonnet and want to, like, cut every cord there is and think, well, that might be an issue if I want the car to actually start.
I think at this point, Frampo was screwed.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. I love that he tried just running. It's like, what are you going to do? Run to Folkestone now, mate? What's going on?
Well, also, he pulled off at a services that was in the middle of nowhere. Like, there was nothing there. There was nowhere for him to hide. And he parked across 3 parking spaces of the about 5 there. For all the good work that he did, I don't think he covers himself in glory with his capture.
Hilarious, though.
So he pulls off and then spots the hunters behind him at the services. He runs off, and Veronica catches him with the catchphrase, "She won." And he says he would love to know what the psychologist would think of him, but she retired early. A lot of people didn't expect much of him, but he made it to 3 hours before extraction.
Oh, so annoying, that, isn't it? Oh, I wonder what Dr. Donna would have thought of him.
Michelle, you're our resident Dr. Donna expert. What would you think that Dr. Donna would think of him?
She'd probably give him a name. She wouldn't think, she'd probably say, he's just a country farmer. He can't do this, can he? You know, stuff like that.
We shouldn't underestimate him. He'll be very resourceful on the run.
Oh, jeez.
Marie's car hits ANPR on the M3 and Alpha on the M25. They spot her ahead of them, but she spots them in the rear view. However, it's the wrong car. It's a fake out.
Not even just the wrong car. It was just a van.
Yeah, it wasn't even Volvo.
It's nothing like. It's just a black vehicle.
Shaq's car then pings on the M20 Southeast. That last ping tells them it's Folkestone, and therefore could be the Eurotunnel. Marie arrives with 20 minutes to board the train, and HQ get the ping. Echo and Alpha are sent there, and they are 10 and 7 minutes out respectively. However, Marie takes the wrong pissing turn, which adds 3 miles to the journey.
Could she have got through, do you think?
I think probably what would be considered the extraction vehicle would be getting on the platform this time. So I think as soon as you get to the correct platform, you've probably won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have thought so. I was a bit confused with the timeline. Hey, that makes a change. So we know they've got to be there for 1 o'clock, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, 1 o'clock was what they said.
Yeah. So she was 20 minutes away, so we think it's 12:40? Are we saying that?
Ish, yeah.
So why does our sat-nav say it's either 10:08 or her ETA is 10:08 and when she's 57 miles away?
God knows.
All over the place, as usual.
Yeah.
You forgot to blur that one out, people. Come on.
I have, at this point, given up on trying to make any sense of their messing with the timeline. They've broken me finally after 8 series. So Giles gets the ping for Shaq, and they are correct with the Eurotunnel. Alpha come up the lanes. It's not going to be au revoir. It's going to be bonjour fuckers. Marie then spots a hunter car in the lane next to her, and she's caught in the queue.
You can't get much closer than that.
No, she could literally see the extraction point at that point.
Gutted. Clever, though, to have a barrier, something that can slow them down, that's completely uncontrollable. So if they do get close, they've kind of got them. I think this is a really good extraction point.
Yeah, I think there may have been an off-air rule that if the hunters catch up to your car, you're done.
Yeah, just sit and wait.
I sort of alluded to it last episode, but I think certainly with Frampo's capture and certainly with Marie's capture, I think as soon as the hunters put their hands on the bonnet or whatever, you're done. Because I think that might have been what they were relying on with Robin as well. Is as soon as JP put his hand on the bonnet, Robin kind of had to give up, but then Robin went, "Nah, I'm not giving up, stop that."
Which would explain why he does just give up.
Yeah.
Because in between time, his camera person said, "No, they've caught you, Robin. You have to stop."
Yeah, that's my suspicion. Because Robin's capture was just so half-arsed, for want of a better term. And given how much we saw of him, I expected a lot more fight. That I think he may have fallen foul of that sort of a rule, especially having seen episode 8, where as soon as they put hands on Marie's bonnet, she just kind of goes, "Yeah, I'm caught on her balls."
Well, now we've wrapped for the season. If any fugitives do want to tell us, then they can, because they have no worry about NDAs because it can't go on air.
Nope.
So there you go.
We would just want to know because we're nosy as hell.
Yeah.
So Alpha dump Marie and then leave for the next train departure area. And I did say at this point I thought it was about to be a clean sweep. Shaq starts crying as he heads to the train, and Echo have the train in sight. And they get drone footage of Shaq in his Mazda on platform B1.
No, I did think he'd done it at this point, and that's because of Mr. Nick Harvey's wonderful score. That was triumphant music that was going on. I was like, he's done this. He's got this.
Did you also spot the spoiler that was in the back of this episode?
No.
Don't know. Which one?
They spoiled Frampo's capture.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh.
I can't take any credit for this because someone pointed it out on Twitter. But before Frampo gets captured, there is a scene in HQ of someone in front of Frampo's mugshot and it has been crossed out.
Oh.
So I didn't clock this when I was watching it, but I looked on Twitter after watching it and someone did point it out.
Ah, very good.
Bad cameraman.
Well done, whoever that was.
Yeah, that Frampo's capture was spoilt.
Wasn't Doug that told us, was it?
No, it wasn't. Doug's been very silent actually the past few weeks, maybe because I keep talking about the fact that he keeps tweeting me. So Shaq boards the train and it closes, leaving the hunters behind, and Shaq as the first ever solo winner of Hunted UK.
And he got the 10 grand, so he almost certainly will remain the highest earning winner of this show.
With him winning as a solo player, we have now had all the permutations of 0 to 4 people escaping on the civilian series. He's one of the very rare solo winners worldwide as well.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare that it happens.
And solo pretty much from the beginning.
Yeah.
Because Warren was the first to get caught. So,
he was.
So that's amazing, isn't it? You know, he's been on his own from day one. He wins the 10 grand dead drop and then wins the whole pot.
And
awesome.
He had a very wobbly start as well. He was only just ahead of the hunters for, I'd say, at least the first week of this hunt. And he just came out of his shell. He opened up. He trusted people. And that's how you win.
Yep.
And he's had spa. He's had champagne. He's stayed in an amazing hotel. Like, he's had a different kind of experience.
Yeah. He didn't have anyone to rely on at all.
We've not seen him camping anywhere.
No.
Just the hair itself. Like, seriously.
So he leaves his car to realise he's the only one and the money is all his. He says he feels numb but grateful He always told Mariah that they would get the break they were striving for, and he gave it his all, and because he did, he has done it.
Bravo, Shaq. Well done, mate.
Very good.
Very, very worthy winner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Weird edit, but very worthy winner.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it weird? I think we sussed him from about week 2, didn't we? So
it was weird only because we saw so much of him. We never usually see so much of a winning fugitive. Usually they have some quiet episodes, but he never really had a quiet episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, time to eulogise the series.
I know we say this every year, but it's just such a good show. It's hard to imagine how it would not make a good series. And I think it started slower than previous seasons, but I maintain, I said this last week, I think episodes 7 and 8 were 2 of the best episodes we've had in 8 series.
Yeah, I think it was weird because there wasn't really much promo for it. Then they just started dropping 2 a week and didn't really confirm how many episodes there were or how many they were doing per week until everything came out.
And maybe I perceived it as a slow start because I didn't realise there was 8 episodes at that point.
Yeah.
Because it felt like after episode 3, we don't know enough. There's not enough to wrap this series up. But then the extra 2 episodes obviously made a big difference. Yeah, I think as usual, their casting is phenomenal.
Yeah.
If anybody is casting for a reality show, whatever Hunter do that because they just bring out brilliant characters every time.
Yeah, and I liked the 8 episodes, actually. I liked it a bit longer.
I mean, I would have preferred it if they'd have told us before the series, because it has caused much panic for me, but...
and having 2 a week as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, schedule it 1 a week, please, and schedule it on a day that's convenient for us, please, and at a time of the year that's convenient for us, please. Thank you very much. But other than that...
Other than everything.
Yeah, other than all of the component parts. The one negative I will say, and it's something we mentioned last week, is the editing has been a bit sloppy. More than normal.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's stuff like the next time trailers having stuff in that wasn't in the next episode. Because that happened at least twice that we clocked. And there were major things, because it was Frampo's quad bike and the dead drop was an episode earlier. And I don't know whether it's because they were planning on 6 episodes and it ended up being 8, or whether, there's just new editors and they're a little bit sloppier. I don't know. But that would be my main negative takeaway, is just there was a little bit of sloppiness in the edit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, blurring all of the dates.
Just
deliberately misleading me.
Yeah.
It felt malicious.
Yeah, I think we've reached a point where we maybe need to let it go on the timeline because clearly they have.
You have known me for 9 years at this point, and you know I don't let things go.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to. I'm saying I think we should.
Yeah, I still have PTSD from the chase, and that is over 8 years ago at this point. I still give the middle finger to Frank Hornby every time I see him. And that is nearly 9 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
So basically you hold a grudge and you anything.
Yeah, I'm vengeful, Michelle.
Jeez. You'd go well on Survivor. You'd want to vote everyone off that mentions your name.
Oh, I would be brilliant in confessionals on Survivor. I would hate every second of Survivor because I don't camp.
Well, neither do I. I don't camp either.
I am miserable at outdoors.
In general, just any time you're miserable outdoors?
Yeah, just any time I'm outside, just go, ugh, I hate it. Hate being outside.
Do you still bike ride?
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay, well, you like something.
Yeah, I am exaggerating for comic effect.
Okay.
I don't camp. I like 3+ star hotels.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. That's okay.
I'd be very easy to catch if I was on the run, purely because you just go for the nearest nice hotel that I can afford. Anything else to say about this series?
No.
No, I'm just imagining now. And they caught Michael on day 1 as he was having a pedicure.
Well, you know as well as I do, and we have had this confirmed by hunters before, that if either of us ever went on this show, they would put everything into catching us on day 1.
Yeah.
We would be their sole targets.
I'd still like to do it, though.
I wouldn't.
Yes.
Not a chance.
Well, thanks, Doug, for another good season.
Yep.
I'm not
It's all
thanking
Doug's
the
fault.
chief and the lackeys who are underneath him, but yeah, I'll thank Doug.
Yeah, well done, Doug, and the team.
Who else can we thank?
Well done, Doug, Daisy, India, and all the people who haven't communicated with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And another well done to Shaq. Well done to Frampo. You did brilliant, mate. You really, really did a good job. Well done to Marie for overcoming the odds. I did not see that happening. And unlucky to everybody else who gave us loads of fun.
Yeah.
And I was very angry that Marie and Andrew got caught. In the final episode, I was absolutely seething and, disappointed.
And that's why we've had to wait nearly 2 weeks to record this, so that Michelle's blood pressure returns to normal.
Yes, I am quite calm right now. If we would have taped it that night, it would have been a totally different story. Oh my God.
So, thank you for listening to our Hunted recaps all series long. We'll be back in 2026 for more episodes, hopefully of Hunted, but certainly beginning with Vies to Mole. Don't forget you can contact us on pretty much every social media platform that isn't TikTok, where we are RTV Warriors, or you can email us and contact at rtvwarriors.com. Anthony's on the as is formerly known as Twitter at Bullsboy, Michelle's Bear3333333, and I'm MJ Harmstone. We will see you next year for more episodes, but for this series and this year, your time in the run is over.
Bye-bye.
Bye.